Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Money Mondays podcast where we cover 3 core topics: how to make money, how to invest money, how to give it away to charity. But today, we're going to dive into the topics about your body, mind, and soul. Why do you invest into yourself? This guest today, Steve Eckert, has been with us here at Operation Blacksite for the last half a decade since we first started. You can check it out at operationblacksite.com. Steve was there at day one. He's actually the only instructor that's been at every single event, every single day, from 4 or 5 in the morning, leading the optional workouts that he's going to explain what that means when I say optional, to the very end of the night where we're here. You know, it's 10 o'clock at night after we just gone through the first couple days of training, and we're here. So he's been with us morning, noon, and night because he passionately believes in helping people change their minds, their bodies, and their actions. By doing that, I believe in what's called the butterfly effect. If we make better humans, we make them more skilled, more competent, more trained, they will help their families, their communities, their staff, their family, their friends, etc. And the more people that are trained, I believe that less crime will happen because people will hopefully be more scared to commit crimes, as we've seen in certain countries or states where they know if they fuck around, they're going to find out. And we've seen it in Dallas, Texas, where there's not that much crime when people know there's open carry. And anyways, we're going to get into all these topics. So this podcast will be much different. I want to dive into this because I want to cover this topic, so important. I'm actually doing this like a rush episode. This is coming out literally this Monday. We're filming this right now, this weekend. And for me, I've just been obsessed with this because I've been seeing so many situations happen across our society. We see it on the news. We see situations on subways. We see tragic situations where people are getting hurt or worse, or getting killed that could be prevented if people were competent and not just pulling out their cell phones and recording these terrible, terrible situations that are occurring in our society. And so, without further ado, Steve Eckert, if you can give us the quick 2-minute bio so we can get straight to the money.
Well, I think this is about money, about taking care of yourself, and that's really what I do. What I consider myself is just a husband and a father. If I do those things right, all the things fall into place. That's the ultimate currency right there. Taking care of myself, taking care of my family, that is wealth. I'm probably the least rich person that's been on this podcast, but I guarantee I'm the wealthiest that's ever been on this podcast for those reasons, because that's what I consider my profession, is a husband and a father first. And I know if I do that, get my house in order, all the other pieces are going to fall into place in business, in money, in the community, in being a leader, in impacting the community to the better ways that you're saying, so that things start shifting for the positive in the country.
So your wife and kids and yourself have been working out how many days in a row?
We've lost, my son keeps track. It's now over 4 or 5 years, like not a single day off. Talking
4 or 5 years?
Years, yeah.
Oh my God.
It might even be longer than that by this point. We've lost track. We don't take a day off. It's a daily win. It's a guaranteed win every day. And if that's the thing that we're addicted to, there's far worse things we could be addicted to. People are like, oh, you're overtraining. And yet they're sitting on the couch and
Right.
their kids are freaking fat and eating.
bonbons and
Exactly.
donuts, yeah.
So if that's the worst thing I'm doing all day is working out,
Right.
like I'll take that any day of the week. But it's also showing my kids, I've had injuries and torn muscles through all this. It's been through Corona and ups and downs. We do it every day, no matter what. It's not even a decision to make. But it's a guaranteed win. But it's also showing them how to be disciplined, how to be consistent. And they love it. We do it together as a family. There's no better way to connect. To me, that is wealthy. That's why with the wealth I'm talking about. We train together 7 days a week. We eat dinner together 7 days a week. We come to events like this all the time, all across the country. Like, to me, that's the new wealth. That's the new flex as a damn near 50-year-old man, to still have abs and be in shape and lead my family and hang out with my family and not neglect my family to go and be successful.
So a lot of 14-year-old boys like your son are scrolling through TikTok. They're avoiding school. They're avoiding situations, and they're just kind of figuring out life in their own fashion, their own way. How do you inspire him to want to be here at these events and want to be working out and want to be around his dad so often?
He sees us doing it. He says we're having fun. We're doing all kinds of cool shit. We're fighting, punching people in the face, shooting guns, getting tied up, escaping. Like, this is cool shit. This is like a playground for a young man, but when they want to go and do it in real life. Also, he sees parents that are doing it, 2 parents that are doing it. Do you know, I saw a study that 89% of millionaires come from families where their parents didn't get divorced. It's wild when you think about that. So they see that and they're just following the success. Success leaves clues. He wants to be like his father because I'm there hanging out. We're having fun. We're doing everything together. When I was a kid, I looked at my father and I've got all my discipline and success and everything I've ever learned from my father because I looked at him and said, I want to be nothing like that man. So I decided to break the cycle and do things complete opposite. The blueprint he showed me, do everything the opposite. My son sees that. My family sees that. He wants to be like me, be the type of man that my daughter would one day want to marry. if I allow her to get married, because who knows, there's not much of a selection out there, but that's like a big fear of mine. Like, she's used to being around her brother, who's a capable young man, and all the people I bring around here. She sees all these men in Blacksite. There's not that much out there. Going to be much out there. Like, that's what she's going to be expecting. She's going to have pretty high standards when it comes to it. So we need to shift the way things are going in this country so that there are more young men coming out there, so she has someone worthy of even marrying when she gets older.
So where did this come from for you? Like, what point did you decide I'm going to become this disciplined beast? Like, when did it happen?
All through my life, little stages. I mean, I could say it's from a horrible childhood, seeing my father, and I literally never had a single conversation with my father. I lived with him in the house until I was 19 years old, so I left for the Marine Corps. Never had a single conversation. He never told me about girls or how to change a car tire. Nothing. Like, literally not a conversation. Never threw a football to me, not a single time. So I knew something that's not the way it's supposed to be. It didn't feel right as a young boy. Like, where's my positive male role model? So I could say it's that. I could say it's when I was in jail and said I needed to turn things around. I could say it when I went to the Marine Corps and I started seeing what positive male leadership and discipline was like. I could say it was when I became an entrepreneur. That's probably when it came close. When an entrepreneur, you start like, oh shit, this is what resilience is. This is how a man deals with pressure. But probably not until my first son was born. And now that you're like, I always think more good men have to have kids. I think that's our purpose, is to have children. So I was running a business in New York. I was working 7 days a week, doing everything, cleaning the toilets, training all the clients, doing all the sales, the marketing, the follow-up. And I came home on a Sunday at like 10 p.m. and I didn't see my son. He was only a few months old and he happened to be awake. And my wife was like, oh, he's awake. You never get to see him. He's awake because you're working all the time. And she handed it to me. She took a picture and she put the picture on the fridge. And she saw that as like this cool thing. But for me, that was like that snap, that aha moment, saying, you know what? Even though I'm trying to build this empire, all my kid knows is there's neglect. A father that's not home. Just like my father wasn't there, he's just going to see that. A father that's not here, he doesn't give a shit if I'm going to make millions of dollars if I'm not there to lead him and spend time with him. So that moment when she took that picture, I was like, oh shit, I got to start shifting things and do things a little different. Not just, I want to be obsessed and make a shit ton of money, but I'm not going to do it at the expense of neglecting my son and my family. And that was like where the trajectory changed on the discipline side.
So you've had tens and tens of millions of views, if not hundreds of millions of views on social over the years, because some of your videos go very, very viral. Creating this content about your real life in a lot of situations, and even when your kids are going through training here at Operation Blacksite, you have a lot of options. You could be working on a lot of different things in the personal training space. Why this? Why Operation Blacksite?
Because of the things we just talked about. It's so meaningful. Letting my kids they experience this and see their parents go through this and be around just amazing people all the time. Like we come into the ranch. Someone said it yesterday in one of the speakers. It's like a sacred event. It's like a sacred place. It's a different feel, a different vibe, a different aura. Like, you show up here, it has that gravitas feeling when you come to Operation Blacksite. And my kids can feel that. And they know this is how man operates. This is how successful people operate. These are the things to think about to become not just a provider, but a protector, but a disciplined, purpose-driven human being that just makes everyone around them better. That's what a leader is. That's what a father is. Working on yourself every day to get better, but making all the people around you better. And they see that, and I know that they're gonna far surpass anything I did, like when they're older, like 100 times more they're gonna accomplish than I ever did. So that right there, doing events like this, like it's just amazing. Like, you can't beat it.
So today I noticed that there's exactly 50% members here for Operation Blacksite that are women and men. Why do you think it's important for women to go through training like this, to learn how to shoot, how to fight, how to escape?
I think it's a few parts of that, and on the surface, we think it is because they see crazy things happen, like the girl in the subway, the Ukrainian girl. Yeah. That's just, so they see things like that. Like, I need to learn how to be more situationally aware. And when I'm going through a parking lot by myself, like one of the women said, she works in Vegas and walks through a parking lot, it's just dark and rows of cars. Like, how does she navigate that? It's so much stress and anxiety, and they see these things happen on the news. I think that's the surface level, the kind of real tangible. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's because men in general have gotten weaker and softer, and the women have to become the man of either of the family, or maybe they're a single parent because the divorces are so high, like I said earlier, and they have to take the role of a man. They might not even want to. They should learn these skills too, but they should be learning it alongside their man as a unit. You rarely see them. They come with their husbands. One did, and he stayed at the hotel. And I'm just someone that's not going to pull any punches and tell it like it is. She showed up with her husband. He should be going through this with her. So
sure.
She stayed in the hotel under the warm covers while she was out here in the rain, crawling in the mud. So that right there is the answer right there. Like, they're forced to step up into this role. And it's even in a marriage, even with some that are married. But then, of course, with divorce rates and single mothers, they have to. Like, who's going to do it? They need to. They're forced to be in that masculine role, unfortunately, and they can't really be their true womanly, feminine self all the time. So they're forced to do it. But on top of that, they should do it. But I think as a family unit like we do, we try to show them this is possible for a family. It's possible to do shit like this together. It's possible to not get divorced. It's possible to be happy and have fun and live a life you don't need a vacation from together as a unit with your kids, with your spouse, with your family, all together. Then now we have a fucking army. We're four of us thinking like this in the family, not just one person. It's a superpower coming to something like Operation Blacksite.
So there's people out there that are listening over the years that are wealthy, and they've built up wealth, they've invested, they've built their businesses, maybe they've sold a business, and they've got this career, they've got this capital, but when they go home, their kids don't respect them, or their wife doesn't respect them. What can they do different to try to earn that respect?
Yeah, the respect is huge, and it needs to be re-earned every day. In the Marine Corps, we say you have to earn the right to be a Marine every day. You have to earn the right to be a husband every day. You have to earn the right to be a father every day. Just because you have kids doesn't make you a father. Just because you don't have kids doesn't mean you can't help father and lead other kids. Like, I think Grant Cardone said at one time, and of course he's massively successful. Everyone wants to be rich like him and have the private jets. But he said one time that he only needs like 1 day a week with his daughter. And then I heard someone recently say it, like one of the big gurus online, and a lot of followers, very successful, said he needs only 20 minutes with his kids. And after that, they're telling him to kick rocks. And that's all he needs a day. Like, if I only spent 20 minutes with my kids a day, it makes me sick to my stomach to think I've only spent 20 minutes. And if they wanted to only spend 20 minutes a day with me, that tells me I'm doing something wrong. I'm not leading them and not connecting with them the way they should. Like, are you kidding? They want to hang out all day. Like, I judge my success, yet not on the bank account only. That helps, of course, but I judge my steps on the footsteps of my kids when I come home and in the door, or even when I'm in my office. My daughter knows when the do not disturb is on the sign and on the room in my office. She hears when my door opens up, and I hear those footsteps running like a machine gun. Yeah. That's how I judge my success. How fast are my kids' footsteps running towards me when I come home from an event if they're not with me, or I come out of my office, I come back from work. So it's really that intentional attention that they're giving. Attention is the new currency. Our time and attention is more powerful than any money. I know so many successful, rich people that are very poor when it comes to the wealth of their family. They're out of shape, they're unhealthy. Their kids look at them and be like, yeah, the money's cool, but I want to be nothing like that fucking person because they're out of shape, they're fat, they're not spending any time with me. I don't necessarily want to be like them. The money doesn't mean shit. I have a saying, FYPJ, fuck your private jet. Like, that's the way if in order for me to get a private jet, do I believe I can work hard enough with my work ethic and discipline to get a private jet? Abso-freaking-lutely I can. But if it means having to only spend 20 minutes a day with my kids, you could keep your private jet. I don't want it. I don't need it. I spend more time with my kids than anyone I know, and still are able to come to events like this, run my business from home. I personally homeschool my kids. So it's the attention they're giving their kids with intention, the presence. Presence is a currency with your kids. I'm investing in my kids. This is the Money Mondays. I'm investing in my kids by coming to things like Operation Blacksite and letting them see it and feel it and experience it. Like, that's an investment right there. People don't invest in their kids enough. They invest in the investments that you talk about. We need to invest in the money and make a shit ton of money also. They invest in their employees and their team and their sales team and all this other stuff and marketing, but they're not investing in their kids. They need to take that, flip that script and bring order to the chaos in the house, to get their house in order. And I guarantee everything else just is elevated and becomes better for that. Like, their mind needs to be totally reframed about, like, my number one business. So I said, when I said, what do I do? Is I'm a husband and a father. That is it. That's my number one job. There's no more meaningful, and now you know it too, and I love it that you're experiencing it. There's no more meaningful, impactful career you could have as a man. Like, that is our purpose on this planet as a man, is to have kids and lead them well and leave this spinning rock better than we found it. So I think they're just not giving them attention. Their priorities are just out of whack. They think providing is enough when it's really the attention and intention they need with the time they're spending with them.
Yesterday I flew 16 hours from Dubai, and I had Ariana on my chest and her sleeping, and I just put my phone on her butt, and I was boom, typing for must have been 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of the 16-hour flight. She just slept on my chest. That was my favorite moment of the whole.
I was just gonna say, it doesn't get any better than that.
Nothing.
Doesn't get any better than that. Like
I don't need to bring a baby to a wedding in Dubai, but I need to bring a baby. I
don't need to, but I need to. Yeah, that is amazing.
I want her around all the time. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, So, a woman's out there, and she's married to a successful man. But he's lazy. He doesn't work out. He definitely doesn't know how to fight. He's never shot a gun in his life. What can she do to get her man to go out there, whether it's go to something like Operation Blacksite, or at least go to the gym, or go to a martial arts studio or a gun range in their local town?
Yeah, crazy that we have to now say it for you from that. Usually it's like the man has to try to bring the woman along for the ride, and the roles are reversing, which is crazy. But she needs to be straightforward, direct, and honest with him about the losing respect that she's having. Like, and imagine a woman tells a man that she's losing respect for him. Like, if that's not enough to make you get your shit together and stop being fat and go and take care of your, go read a freaking book, come to do something like Operation Blacksite, like, she needs to be straightforward with him and let him know, like, what she expects as a man, what she should rightfully so expect from a man that's the leader of the home and of the house. It's just a communication, and they don't do it because it causes too much friction and too afraid to rock the boat. But why would you, like, if you are not happy with something, do something about it, communicate it, bring something up. And if he doesn't do something about it, then that kind of gives you your answer right there.
So tomorrow morning, it's 4:15 a.m. The alarm clock goes off. It's raining outside, and you're under the warm blankets. What motivates you to not push that snooze button, to take those blankets off and to go outside and work out in the rain?
Those footsteps that I said, I know, and it's right there alongside my kids. They're right there. And guess what? If I didn't get up, you know who's going to say, what are you doing? My kids, first one, my son will be there. Yeah. If I ever tried to, I would never let it happen, because mainly for that reason. I know those little eyeballs are on me. George Patton said, you're always on parade. When he's talking about, like, in the military, how you conduct yourself, there's always eyeballs watching you. Shit, when you were a father, you were on parade 24/7, whether your kids are with you or not. Even if they're not with me, I'm going to get up and do the same thing. I'm going to train my ass off even more, because I know sometimes, all right, no one's going to know. I can get away with it. That's what leadership really is. That's what integrity really is. Who are you when you're by yourself? How do you deal with shit when you're by yourself? When it's easy when the eyeballs are on you and your kids are making you go and do it. That's easy. What about when you're by yourself? It's that same mentality, thinking, all right, I'm not a big woo-woo tree-hugging freaking person, but I believe if I'm not doing the things I'm telling my kids to do, just because I can get away with it and no one's going to know about it. And they won't know if I don't train my ass off today. I'm a believer that the universe will send that little butterfly effect out there and completely change the trajectory of our relationship and the trajectory of their life off of some stupid little thing like that. Like, I must, because those freaking kids are my legacy. And if I'm not a man of my word, I deserve all the worst that's going to come to me.
All right. So on the podcast, we normally talk about, how to make money, how to invest money, how to give away to charity. On the charity side, why do you think it's important for the family household to see you, the man, do some type of philanthropy? It doesn't have to be financially, but go out there, and whether it's helping the homeless, helping at a children's shelter, an abuse shelter, a senior citizen home, etc. What is it about doing some type of philanthropy that is important for the household? Yeah,
it's manufactured adversity, pretty much. I do everything I can, like I said, to break the cycle, to give them an awesome life. But if all they have is an awesome life and they don't know about adversity, they don't know about, like, homelessness and things like that, we teach them about all that, they're not going to appreciate shit. They're going to be entitled little brats like the majority of people out there. So I push them and pressure them and expose them to things like this. Like, we're actually doing a 24-hour workout a week from today. Next Saturday, 24 hours. We're lifting weights for 24 hours straight. No breaks.
What?
24 hours, yeah. It's the third time we're doing it. What's that?
Explain this.
You do a set, chest press. Just like you would at the gym. You put it down. You go do your set of squats with the weights. You put it down, and we keep track of our weight. We do it for 24 hours. No sleep.
24 hours.
Yeah, we've done it 3 times. This is the 3rd time. And we're doing it for a fundraiser. A young guy that we know just died, and his family now, we're doing a fundraiser to raise money for the family. Yep. And this is how we do it, and show them, like, you must suffer and appreciate, and not just be entitled. And we've done them before for Big Brothers Big Sisters, for American Heart Association, for autism, 24-hour workouts all the time, different variations of them. We have one coming up a week from today. It's to show them, like, you have to realize what adversity is. You have to teach them adversity. I call it manufactured adversity. Otherwise, they'll grow up, and when life kicks them in the freaking teeth, they're not going to know how to deal with it. They're going to be used to just, oh, daddy just will take care of it. Right. Daddy will hand it to me. Oh, hell no. You're gonna earn that shit.
All right. We are in the wealthiest society in history. Gold is up, Bitcoin is up, stock market's up, real estate's up. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars have been pumped into our society because math and time compounds. A father and wife have raised their 2 kids, and they're wealthy. And now they're 18 years old. How can they instill some toughness into that child before they turn 18 so they don't go off and face reality out there in society and they were just soft the whole time because they lived in a mansion and had, fancy caviar all the time?
Yeah, like I said, they're going to earn everything. My kids, when they want something, yeah, birthdays and that, they'll get little things here, but if they want something in between, they're going to earn it. They're going to work for it. They help me where they're homeschooled, so they do their regular things to learn that we consider their homeschooling, but they help us with businesses. They run payments. They run P&L reports. Wow. They do all kinds of shit like that. They create sales pages and social media content and reply to messages and things like that. They're constantly in the business, so they have to see what it's like. What is the struggle like? They see when you get refunds and what it fucking stings, and they're like, oh shit. They need to know what that feels like, and they feel it because now they know they're not going to get rewarded. All right, well, why'd they get a refund? What do we do to make that refund come in or whatever? What do we need to do to make more money? Well, we didn't create good enough content. We didn't send out good enough emails. We didn't have good enough follow-up, and they see what I'm doing, and so they're coming right along for the ride. Again, we're manufacturing adversity. They're working in the business. I think it's a superpower when, and my wife, we all work together. The whole family technically works in the business. We all come here together. If you can have a business, entrepreneurship with your spouse, and then also get your kids involved, like, I think that is a superpower. I really have nothing to ever worry about. We could have a bad month, a bad year, a bad decade, but knowing that your family has your back and they're all in it together, they feel it. It's something that they have some pride in and they take ownership in. And when they become adults, it's just another day at the office, dealing with the adversity like I talked about today, that the different seasons of life and holding the line through the success and the failures. They're seeing it. They've seen me go through tons of failures regularly, and they see how, this is how a man deals with setbacks and adversity. He doesn't crumble under pressure. He doesn't start acting like an ass. They don't get divorced. They come together and figure it the fuck out so that they can now go back into that harvest season and go back to dominating. And they know it's going to come around again. And again, there's going to be the ups and downs. We cut the peaks and valleys. They're right alongside with us. When they become adults, again, they're going to achieve 1,000 times more than I ever could.
So you also train with Squire program with Bedros Koulian. Explain Squire program and the whole concept behind it.
Yeah, it's a father-son experience. We just administer it. It's just to help the fathers to connect more with their sons, so that we can. Really, the real reason why I am so invested in Squire program is that my daughter hopefully one day will have someone worthy to marry. Because again, like we said before, there's not going to be much of a selection. And I didn't have that connection with my father as a kid at all, zero. So to go in there and instill some of this stuff in and kind of wake some of these fathers up sometimes. They think they're bringing their sons there for their son. Yeah, he's whatever, troubled, we don't really connect much, and he's whatever, not disciplined. And they come in fat, out of shape. You see the way they interact with them, the little side hug, they're kind of the body language that's not there. And it's really just as much for the fathers as it is the sons. I want more fathers to experience the father and child connection, especially the father-son bond and connection that me and my son have, because there's no greater profession in the world as a man, and a lot of men miss out on it. They're absent in the home. Even when they're home, they're not there. They're stressed about work. They're stressed about money, and it's running and ruining their life and their marriage and their family. So
you have one of the best mindsets I've ever seen in my life, and I interview and interact with so many thousands of people over the years. What can someone do to incorporate a little bit of Steve Eckert into their mindset?
Get their house in order. Get your house in order, your family in order. Set a date night. Like I have a date night set every week with my wife. Then I have a one-on-one meeting, actual work meeting, professional meeting with my son every week on the calendar, recurring every week. I have a one-on-one meeting with my daughter. We have a family meeting every Sunday. It's one of my favorite parts of the week. I sit there for an hour and plan my week. Then we get together for another hour, the whole family. We have a family meeting. We go over our gratitude. We go over our victories. We go over our struggles for the week. We give feedback to each other. And then we set our plans and what's upcoming for the next week. And we start planning and preparing for the next week. So that's getting the house in order to me. Getting the house in order, getting the family on board, taking them along for the ride. If I go just to things like Blacksite by myself and read and study and get coaches and mentors and don't take the family along for the ride, I'm going to start out developing them. Now we're speaking different languages and things just crumble and fall apart. So they need to take the family along for the ride. Start one thing they could do right away that's free. Have a family meeting every freaking Sunday with the family. Go back on a date night. How many men don't go on date nights anymore with their wife, and they wonder why there's just friction and tension. They're not just doing the basic simple things. Shit is free. Go spend the one-on-one time on the calendar with your kids. They know no matter how busy they get at work, that stuff is non-negotiable. It gets done no matter what. If we're at an event or something, we'll reschedule it, but those things are getting done. So getting the house in order and showing up in the home with presence, with fire, with energy, with the same enthusiasm and passion and obsessiveness they put in the business. Treat your family like the business. Show up like the leader you show up in your office. We go in and work, and then we come home and they get the leftovers. So show up with the intention there, and it will change the whole rest of all other areas of your life. It'll just elevate all the other areas of life.
All right, guys. This is one of those podcasts that it's not just about you. It's your friends, your family, your followers. There's people in your ecosystem, in your circle, that also could be from your past, present, or future, that you forward an episode like this. We want men, women, parents to become better versions of themselves. Because by default, if the parents become better, the kids become better. If the man becomes better, the household becomes better. If the couple becomes better, the community becomes better. It helps their staff, it helps their office, it helps their coworkers, it helps all the people around them, again, from their past, present, and future. And so when you see things like this, it's not just for you. There may be people that you want to experience and hear from Steve Eckert. So check him out across social media. Consume this type of content, because a lot of times people are listening to so many random people that don't live and breathe what they're talking about. I've watched Steve over the last 5 years. I've seen him at 4:30 in the morning. I've seen him at 11 o'clock at night. I've seen him do the thousands of push-ups. I've seen him work out even when freaking bone is sticking out of his arm because he wants to make sure that his kids see him in action. I've seen him in real life. Consuming content like Steve Eckert compared to a lot of the noise, drama, random gossip sites and things that a lot of people are following on social media, consuming better for you content is what you can hear the passion of my voice. It's super important for your life and the people around you. Now, over the last 2.5 years, I've been running this podcast commercial free. I finally took on a sponsorship deal with a company because I actually worked with them for years called Go High Level. Go High Level is powering courses, creators, brands, websites. You can go to them. I'm not doing a discount code or anything like that. This is a very straightforward. I want Go High Level for you in your life because it helps for me, my entire back end. All my companies, all my live events, my charity, so many of my businesses are all back end is through Go High Level. So check them out on website. Go look at them up on Google or ChatGPT and see if it's a good fit for you. With Steve Eckert, I really want you to check out his social media because you'll see the content that I'm talking about. You'll see why it's important to follow his type of content. And when we talk about Operation Blacksite, you can visit operationblacksite.com. As you've noticed, we've been talking about men and women. A lot of times people hear about training for fighting, shooting, and escaping. They think it's just like a rawr, all men's thing. We've designed this for the last 5 years. For like example for today, it's 50% women that are here of all ages. So we want you to go through these experiences. If you want to come out to operationblacksite.com, you can register and apply there. Or in your city, at least go to the gun range. Get comfortable with a gun. Go to a martial arts studio. Get comfortable with fighting. Go out there and get skills for fighting, shooting, and escaping. These things are mission critical as our society gets crazier and crazier and a lot of things happen politically, emotionally, on the media, etc. You've got to get training for yourself and for your family and for the people around you. Competence leads to confidence. The smarter you are about topics, the more you practice shooting, fighting, escaping, etc., you will feel better in those type of situations. Hopefully they never arise, but if they do, you want to be prepared for it. Steve, any final words?
Yeah, just as we were saying, work on getting better every day. Coming to things like Operation Blacksite, following all the instructions from Operation Blacksite, getting better every day as a man, making the people around you better, and being able to control your emotions. Those are really the keys to a successful life as a man. Because a man, we have to provide for the family. We also want to stay in shape and stay fit and learn how to shoot and learn how to do all these other things. But then we also have to give our wife attention. And now our kids want to spend time with us. Boo fucking who. That's the burden of a man. That's the kind of things we do at Operation Blacksite. Show you how to mold all those things together and actually just be a human weapon, but also how to create that life that you don't need a vacation from.
So this podcast is number 50 in the world today of all 5.4 million podcasts that are out there, and it's all because of you guys. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. So we appreciate you for doing that. If you haven't commented and subscribed, please make sure you do that because it helps us get this message out there to the world about money. We grew up thinking it's rude to talk about money. I have to remove that from people's minds. I want to change the society norm that it's rude to talk about money. We've got to talk about it. It's part of your daily life. You pay bills, you pay for your parents, you pay for hospital situations, you pay for electricity and food, and all the things that go on in your world with money. So we got to remove this concept that it's rude to talk about it. We have to talk about it. And by being number 50 in the world, it is obviously resonating with people. We're having the topics and discussions. People are sharing, commenting, but I need more of that to keep this going because we're up against obviously a lot of major podcasts that are out there that are trying to take away attention for their own agendas. My agenda is to talk about money. That's it. I want to talk about charity. That's it. I want to talk about things that are part of our real lives because it's important for you guys to do that. So learn how to fight, learn how to shoot, learn how to escape, learn about money, investing, charity, and how to be a really manly man for your household, how to be a better woman for your household. By doing those things, we can help make this a better society and a better world. And I appreciate you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next Monday here at themoneymondays.com.